Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today we've got an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to pick a gun and customization for me to use. The way you do this is you leave a comment down below letting me know what kind of weapon and accessories you'd like me to run with, and I will pick one of the top rated comments for the next week's episode. Today's top comment comes from Samuel McReal, no stranger to the Loadout comments section. He's inspired several Loadout videos in the past. This one is called The Gambler. The primary is the M1907 SL Sweeper, any sight option, and we'll be using the Blue Devil skin. Secondary is the Auto Revolver with the straight flush skin. Gadget 1 is the medical crate, Gadget 2 is the medical syringe, Grenade is a gas grenade, Melee is club because it's better than any spade. Then for the description he says, the stakes are high in World War I and you can't afford to be on the losing team. With cunning and a bit of luck, this loadout should bring you to the top of the scoreboard, raking in the chips from the other team's table. The M1907 should act as a versatile weapon for medium combat, with its full auto capabilities greatly increasing the chances of success against the other players. However, in close quarters, you'll have a deadly ace up your sleeve, the Auto Revolver, a 2-shot kill at close range. This gun will almost allow you to claim a full house if only it had enough bullets in the chamber. Finally, if luck isn't on your side, a mixture of syringes and gas should blind your opponents from your ingenious card tricks. May the odds be in your favor. Now, I've certainly done videos talking about the M1907 SL Sweeper weapon before, but never since the latest TTK patch, and this gun has seen a massive change. The biggest bump that this gun got was the accuracy and damage fall off. So it's more accurate and it does more damage at further ranges now. The close range damage hasn't really increased too much, but the close range damage was good to begin with. It's not going to out damage your average assault weapons, but if you happen to jump upon a slightly unsuspecting victim, you can easily win those close quarter engagements. Somebody who's ready for you with a SMG or something like that is usually going to win that firefight. As the medic though, if you play it cautious and you work around with your teammates, let them take the brunt of the assault first and revive them when they go down, you can stay up for quite a long time with this gun and even assist really effectively. The medic is one of those classes that, when played right, can easily put you on top of the scoreboard. When reviving teammates or squad mates, you get an absolute ton of points. Healing teammates also gives you a huge amount of points, and you have the option to get enemy kills while you're at it. In fact, hunting down dead teammates usually puts you on a beeline towards enemy players. So if you're a good player to begin with, you can usually sneak up on the enemies just by going for your friendlies. And in the gameplay, you'll see that I'm actually playing on front lines, which is a great spot to play medic. If you're smart about it and running with your squad, especially on this map here, which has a lot of trench warfare, you can usually stay alive, revive your teammates, and keep those pushes going. You're also not dealing with quite so many vehicle threats, and the medic has no vehicle weaponry in it, so that's kind of a nice perk. You don't really run into too many things that you can't deal with. The M1907 SL Sweeper can deal with assault players, it can deal with support, other medics, occasionally snipers at long ranges if you're tap firing appropriately. It's not the most accurate medic rifle out there, but you can certainly get work done with it once you sort of figure out the spread mechanics and whatnot. One major thing to keep in mind with this weapon is to not really use full auto at medium and long distance. Reserve full auto for close quarters most of the time, and when you're really trying to be accurate at further ranges, start tap firing this weapon. It'll give you much more accurate shots. I'm able to deal with these snipers here by sort of tap firing the weapon a bit more. This game started off in a situation where the enemy team seemed like they could easily win the very first point. I got on the point, stayed on it, kept my teammates up, didn't overexpose myself, made sure that there was always people spawning on me or that I was reviving teammates nearby, and we managed to push that point, and from there it was pretty much a steamroll and just absolutely cleaned up the enemy team. Neville Knights is a great map for allowing you to close your distance on the enemy, so you can really get a lot of work done with close quarter weapons. Here on Sinai Desert, it becomes much more difficult to close your distance. I did the best with this weapon when engaging opponents at close to medium range, but as soon as we push beyond that range, I started to feel way out of my element, and like I didn't really have much to do with this weapon. If there's snipers 200 or 300 meters away, you may as well just avoid them. You're rarely going to win a firefight against one, and in order to do so, they really have to be, well, really bad snipers. This round ended up giving quite a bit more pushback here and there, but ultimately the enemy team was able to push through. I was playing medic the whole time, and they had good tankers up, and there just wasn't enough assault players on our team. So ultimately I think we lost out because we just didn't have enough players trying to deal with the tanks. Too many players were playing the classes they felt like playing rather than the classes we needed to play. Definitely a guilty party here as well. Since I was recording the loadout video, I wasn't really switching off the medic class, but I probably should have switched over to assault this game to try and win it for us. And I think generally speaking, that's the mark of a good player there. Somebody who is proficient with all classes, knows which class is going to be the best for the specific situation, and can switch to it with the proper loadout to deal with whatever the main threat is. One thing that I find is a good indicator of needing to switch away from the medic class is when you find yourself running towards dead bodies or competing with other medics for the revives on dead players. That's a pretty good indicator that, hey, you've probably got too many medics on your team. Switch off the medic class, try a different class that you think will be better at countering whatever the enemy team's throwing at you, and let the rest of your squad mates actually revive you. Because if you got multiple medics running to a dead body, that's a lot of players not really contributing to the task at hand and rather just competing for points. So if you see that starting to happen when you're playing medic, consider switching off next time you die. Now, one of the reasons that I've often struggled with the medic class is that I tend to do a bit of lone wolfing in Battlefield 1. If I see where the enemy's coming or I see a good opportunity to flank, I'm on it immediately, which means separating yourself from your teammates who are not also thinking the same thing or not analyzing the battlefield in the same way you are. It tends to get me separated from the enemy, and the medic class just isn't one of the better classes for the super aggressive flanks or anything like that. Some of the higher damaging medic rifles can only deal with one opponent at a time, and some of the medic rifles that have a lot of ammo just don't kill fast enough, and so it makes them difficult flanking classes to play with. And so that's what I've struggled with. I'm not really the kind of player that sort of sits or hangs around my squad mates a lot, because that often requires that I'm relying on my squad to actually get the task at hand done. Oftentimes you'll see squads just kind of dilly-dallying or taking too long to push an objective or push a point. I find myself in the front lines thinking like, I shouldn't be medic if I'm in the front lines here. I should be letting my squad mates push in and then revive them. It usually works better when I'm playing with friends who are playing at a higher level, but when playing with randoms, I tend to get frustrated when playing the medic class, and I tend to end up just going aggressive medic, which is not like the full use of my abilities, even though on this round here, I was absolutely tearing it up, and most of it was because I was playing super aggressive. Then of course there's that other element to playing the medic class, which is playing the smart medic, not going for every single revive that you see. Sometimes players just die in an open field or a really bad spot. That's their fault for running out in the middle of the open and dying there. There's no point in you running out there and getting both of you killed. You may as well stay alive as a spawn spot for them, or just trying to provide covering fire, or stay alive to revive another teammate who died behind cover. So don't be that medic who runs out in the middle of open into almost certain death just for some revive points. Play the smart medic, stay alive a little bit longer, you'll get more kills, you'll probably get more revives as well. Now, as for the rest of this loadout, using the medic crate and syringe, I feel is like kind of a must with the medic class. Some people use the rifle fire grenades, but I think syringe and medic pack combo is just the most useful in the game. On top of that, gas grenades are excellent in this game. As much as I loathe them and hate fighting against them, they're incredibly good. Often get kills, or at least suppress your enemy, or even provide visual cover for you to push up into better cover or better situations. The auto revolver is an excellent sidearm. It's one of the best revolvers in the game in my opinion. That 2-shot kill is undeniably amazing in close quarter combat, and so I think overall this loadout is really good and really effective. You can easily keep the same loadout and then just swap out the primary medic rifle for something that might be a bit more situationally oriented. Sometimes you need to cross big fields. Going with a longer range sniper type medic rifle might be more appropriate, and then in close quarters or medium range, the SL Sweeper will be an excellent option. Sadly, we didn't end up winning this round. I gave it my best shot, but you know, there's only so much you can do in Battlefield 1 sometimes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I absolutely recommend the loadout. Don't forget to leave your loadout comments down below, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.